Today on episode 240 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, College Football Corner, the NFL Week 10 Pick Show, and the TCF Top 3 of NBA City Edition uniforms. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 240. You can find us on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well for all of our content in video form. We are on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there as well. Subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can, wherever you get your podcast, we are there. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. And of course, the man that I'm joined with today, that is Zach at ZLilia TCF. Maddie is not here today, but you can give him a follow at schools_01. Zach, I hate to say it, I think winter is right around the corner, despite the fact it was 80 degrees 5 days ago.
Well, yeah, Saturday I was lucky enough to go golfing. No, Friday. Friday.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to go golfing in the afternoons, and then Saturday sucked. I mean, disgusting. And unfortunately, I think golf season around here is over with.
Yes.
They might leave them open because you never know around here. It's gonna be a random ass day where it's like 65 degrees and beautiful.
Yep.
But if you are golfing nowadays, I mean, maybe put a tracker on the ball because it is impossible to find a ball with all these leaves.
Yep.
Why have they not done that yet? Nope. They should have a tracker on the golf ball.
Well, they do at Top Golf, but not really for commercial use.
You know what I mean, though? Like, how much easier that'd be if you could just like have it on your phone, like, oh, over here.
Yeah,
that would speed up the game. I'm
sure that technology is coming.
That would speed the game up.
100%. Yeah, especially for guys like us who spend a lot of time looking for golf balls.
Yeah.
It's not for those guys that hit it straight down the fairway. That's boring.
Yeah, we're not worried about those guys.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm sure if we can figure it out, Zach, we're not the brightest guys on the planet. We're not the dumbest guys, but we're not the brightest guys. We could get some bright guys and help us figure this out. We could make a lot of money.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that there's somebody probably doing this already. But
yeah, we're probably behind. Well, we need to get on that once we're done recording this episode. But so let's get into it. Sinkers and floaters this week. My sinker is any bit of free time I've had. For those of you that don't know, I coach high school basketball, and we start on Monday, 11/11, first practice of the season. And also with the time change and everything, it gets dark at like 4 o'clock. So this is the start of 4 months in a row for me where I only see the sun like driving to practice, and then it's always sun's down by the time we're done. But this is my favorite time of the year. Love high school basketball. Been around it my whole life and coaching it. Just very excited to get the season rolling here starting on Monday.
Well, I'm going to kind of go with your sinker because mine's kind of the same. It's what's the point of doing all this daylight? Can't we just make it to where it's always getting dark at like 8 o'clock?
I don't know if we could do it that late, but at least like not 4:30.
Yeah, like sorry, maybe I'm getting a little greedy, but like 6:30. Like we don't have to change 6. The time.
Yeah, I remember like right before COVID when they said that they were done with this, and then since COVID happened,
there was a bill that was going to be passed that all the times were the same, not the same, but there was no changing of the times.
Yep.
What happened to that? Because I hate it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we become so used to it, and there's just certain things you associate with this time of year.
What's one way to kind of help with depression? Maybe fix that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason.
We don't have to have it dark at 4:35. You know how awful that is? Imagine getting off of work at 5, because I usually get off work because with what I do, you can't do it in the dark.
Right.
So we're off before, but like if you get at 5 o'clock and you're leaving work at 5 and it's like you're so used to being sunny out and then it's dark, it's like, dude, that sucks.
It is. That's why I love coaching a sport that's indoors over the winter. It gives me something to keep my mind off of crappy weather and keeps me in climate controlled buildings instead of being outside.
It's fixable. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's not something that's
Can't
like,
even
I
argue
mean,
with that.
oh, we can't ever change this. Yeah, we can.
So I think like the whole argument, like it would mean that the sun in the summer goes down a little bit earlier to balance things out. And I'm okay with that because if that means it just goes down at 7 o'clock in the summer instead of 8:30, but then it
And
means
that's
that it
fine.
goes down in the winter
Like,
at 6.
the sun should never go down before like 5:30.
We got to figure this out. We'll,
Like
we'll add it to
5:30
our
to
tab.
7 is 5:30 to 7 is where I could live forever with the sun going down.
Absolutely. The only positive, and this is going to lead into my floater, is this time of year, and that is the return of the Little Debbie Christmas tree snack. Absolute elite snack right there. Picked up a box of them last night at the dollar store. I mean, they got the regular, they got the chocolate now. I mean, this is at least with the sun going down, and like you said, seasonal depression. There is one way to help cure that. Little Debbie Christmas trees.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm trying not to eat that kind of stuff. I'm picking the wrong time of the year to try and eat better. But I love the pictures of the Little Debbie's Christmas trees in the corner, and they're like, "We decorated for Christmas." I don't know why,
Yep.
but those get me every time.
Dude,
But yeah,
they're
those are the
so
best. First
good.
of all,
Have you had the chocolate ones?
yes,
The chocolate ones, I hate to say it's because I do like the vanilla ones, but the chocolate ones are better.
put them together.
Oh, little sandwich.
Yes.
I like where you're going with this.
First off, let's just be real. Just let them be a seasonal or a whole like a yearly thing. We don't need
Yeah.
a seasonal. We need to be able to eat those all the time. Those are delicious. I know they're
Yeah.
Christmas trees, but they still should be around all the time.
Maybe they could find a way to do the exact same thing, but formulate it into different shapes. Maybe some
Yeah.
Easter eggs, but they taste the same, or some 4th of July decoration, and they just taste.
Just make
I'm
it a
sure they
Christmas
do.
tree. I don't care. Just it's
Yeah, I'll
America.
be honest. I
It's
would buy
America.
them in June if they were out.
Everyone
But
loves Christmas. If it's June and I'm like seeing a Christmas tree, it makes me happy.
exactly, like we've talked about ways to help cure depression. Christmas trees year round.
Yeah. My floater is something that I do a lot lately, and it's because of the weather. It's bowling. I think it's officially bowling season. Because you think about it, I know
Never
people
bowling
do the
season.
simulator, but listen to me. I'm just saying in the wintertime.
Yeah,
I think bowling is a lot more popular around here than you think.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's like the indoor equivalent to golf.
And
For
Boomy, this is gonna sound bad, but I think you missed your time to bowl.
oh yeah, that ship has sailed.
Yeah. You it would have been before the baby and everything.
Yeah,
And now it's just like, and you kind of live a lifestyle that'd be tough to do Wednesdays.
yeah. Scheduled leagues don't really work for me.
Yeah, 30-week bowling leagues don't
That's
fit in your
insane.
schedule. Well, yeah. Did you know Christmas and I think New Year's Day are on a Wednesday?
Yes, I know that because of scheduling a holiday Christmas tournament for high school sports.
I know that because bowling's canceled on Christmas.
That would make
Oh my God,
sense.
I would come in and bowl.
Sorry,
like
guys,
at
got to leave
noon.
family Christmas. I got to head to the bowling alley.
They made like at 6 o'clock at night. What am I doing
Yeah,
at 6 o'clock at night?
exactly.
I'm done with Christmas by then.
Yeah, man, it's just something that just kind of missed me. Like I stink at it, so I never
But
cared
I
about
just
it.
around
And
here, there's unfortunately nothing really to do other than maybe like a golf simulator in the wintertime.
I would still be more inclined to like play in a men's basketball league at like a
See,
YMCA. I did that a couple years ago.
I don't know what it is. I'm just so scared to play basketball.
Nah,
I
you're
just
gonna
don't want
get
to get
hurt.
hurt.
You're gonna get
You
hurt.
play it a lot more than I do.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
kind of used to it. I just don't want to get hurt. I like not being hurt.
Can't live life scared, Zachary.
Well, the problem is it's a little hard to tell my dad, hey, I was
Yeah,
playing basketball and I tore my ACL, can't come to work.
Yeah, I'll be out of work for the next 6 months. Sorry about that.
Unfortunately, my job, I can't just like come in on crutches.
Yeah, that your dad might kill you if you tore your ACL playing basketball.
Or Achilles. That's my fear in life, dude. That
Can't
would
live
hurt
life full of
so
fear.
bad. I was thinking
As soon as
too, before we get into the sports update, what's like a worse injury? I'm saying like a bicep
yeah, bicep tears bad.
or I had a buddy, you Screech, he broke his collarbone.
Collarbones are easy.
But I know, but like, dude, that pain right there is just so weird.
Yeah, that is true. But
Like,
they
it's not
heal
like
pretty
the
fast.
worst thing ever, but it's just the weird pain. I'd rather
And
break my foot.
it's like the one thing, like you use your collarbone for every
Yeah,
single
that's
thing. You
just
don't even
so weird.
realize.
That little bone right there.
It's like shoulders. You don't realize how much you're even like moving your legs, how much, when you move your arms when you walk, how much your
I'm
shoulder
not
in
saying
this
like
area.
extreme like injuries. I'm just saying like ones that are common injuries for
Common.
sports.
Yep.
Like an ACL that sucks, but like it's not the worst thing ever, pain wise.
It's arguably the most inconvenient.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Especially when you can't walk and like your knee just swells up. The worst part is too, like you can't even do anything about it till the swelling goes down.
Exactly.
So then you're just in pain for most of the time.
Not fun. Let's get into some other things that aren't fun. We'll go to the TCF Sports Minute. Bears have fallen in arguably one of their uglier losses of the year. They fall to the Patriots at home, 19-3. It's just abysmal, dude.
Season's over. The season is over.
Yeah, this
It's
is
over. I mean, that was one of the worst games I've ever watched. One of the worst games I've ever watched. The offense, horrible. Defense, I mean, they kept it in the game, but like, dude, to lose to the Patriots like that, one of the
that's so bad.
to Drake May, who now has probably better stats than Caleb Williams. This is just, it's all going to look horrible tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, the fact of the matter is they scored 3 points on offense at home against a team who's actively trying to tank and get the first overall pick.
And they're just bad throws, like plays that made no sense. There was one play where DJ Moore got a first down, he got all pumped up, and then the next 3 plays, it seemed like no one cared. It's just like there's no one's having fun.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, Caleb Williams only had 120 yards
And it's not going to
through the
end
air.
because they're not going to fire the coach, they're not going to fire the offensive coordinator. It's all going to stay the same until the end of the season. And we are about to go through the hardest part of our schedule. The next, what is it?
Yeah.
So they played 9 games. So the next, they play 17 games, right?
Yes.
The next 8 games is just going to be nuts.
So even like looking at like, yeah, okay, there's days where the passing is not going to be there, but like they ran for 73 yards and 15 of those came from the quarterback. Like,
yeah. And
there's no running game, there's no passing game.
Most of those yards were just kind of running away from defenders, really. I mean,
yeah,
he didn't really have. I mean, he got 1 first down, I think he ran for, but other than that, most of those were just kind of like 1 or 2 yards he would get because he was not technically sacked, but I mean, he was sacked 9 times
9
today.
times
9
against
times.
a bad defense.
Back-to-back weeks where he's been sacked more than 7 times or 7 or more times. That's insane. That's stupid.
That's hard to do, it feels like.
Yeah, and you're just setting this rookie up for failure at this point. And at some points too, there's some bad throws by Caleb where you think, "What is that?" Then there's a few throws where you're like, "Oh my goodness, that's a great throw." Like it
right.
none of it makes sense.
Yeah, it's you could look at so many different parts of this that are just ugly. I mean, and like you said, looking at it here, here's what the rest of the Bears season is. At home versus Green Bay, at home versus Minnesota, at Detroit, at San Francisco, at Minnesota, at home versus Detroit, at home versus Seattle, and then at Green Bay.
That sounds pretty sad to me.
Like the way they're playing,
sad.
you could easily argue that they're not going to win a game the rest of the year.
Easily. And I don't think
I
they.
mean,
I didn't think they'll win a game because that's just how the NFL works.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
don't think they'll ever be 500 again.
No. I think that. I mean, that's the thing, dude. In this division, like it'd be one thing if you were playing the AFC South, but like right now they're slated to play the best against the best division in football, and I hate Green Bay coming off a bye week. LaFleur tends to play pretty well after bye weeks, and you never know because, like you said, there's just the randomness to the NFL. But that had to be a win. That had to be. It's since the Jacksonville game in England, they have scored 15, 9, and 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
at the beginning of the season, you were all excited because you didn't have to play the heart of the schedule until later on in the season. Caleb gets to play some games. We'll get used to the NFL. And it just seems like it's gone backwards.
Yeah. That I agree. I feel like things have regressed. And I don't know if it's just him, but the offense, the team in general has regressed since
season
week
where
1.
There was so much expectations. You had Hard Knocks, and then everyone was so excited, and then this happens, and now they're 4-5, and I mean, there's probably a way that they can make the playoffs, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think it's
close.
Something is going to have to turn around very, very fast if they have any intentions on making the playoffs.
And it's not a playoff team. What are they going to? If they somehow get in there, what are they going to do?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, you get the luck of it being the playoffs. One game, anything can happen, but you feel like you get matched up against a good team in the playoffs. It's just not going to go their way. There's just no consistency, and
at
that's
this
just
point,
the way it felt.
Most organizations would fire the coach, fire the offensive coordinator, get an interim coach for a little bit, see what happens, and maybe sometimes that gives the team a spark. But no, this team will not do that.
Especially going into Green Bay week, right? It seems like it just happened this week in New Orleans, right? New Orleans just picked up a win against a team that's better than them in Atlanta, and New Orleans pulled that win out today. And you feel like, if you want to spark, like doing it before the Green Bay game might be the way to go, but I just don't see that happening.
No, and at this point, they are not going to get rid of the coach, but like if they did, I think that would help.
100%.
A change, because there's no way that he's going to be the coach next year on this team. There's just no way. And why not do it now and see if you can change up something?
And I hate to rub any bad luck, but I said the exact same thing about Florida football, and they just announced 4 days ago that they were keeping their coach after I said a month ago there's no way they're firing it, or there's no way he'll be back next year. But so hopefully my bad luck doesn't run.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know where you go from here. It doesn't seem like obviously the offense isn't good, but even said DJ Moore, and I just don't know how you fix this in 7 days.
Yeah, I have no idea. There's no fixing this in a week. It's going to take an off season, hopefully.
How many more losses till you're ready just to go full tank and just get a top 5 pick?
I mean, at this point, it's going to be pretty tough to be there. I mean, the Panthers are playing well, so it's kind of helping. I don't know. At this point, do it, but it's not going to happen. No one on this team wants to tank, so I don't think it'll happen.
I don't know. Like we talked about, though, the heart of, or the toughest part of the schedule is coming up, and
yeah, I mean, they might not even have to tank; they're just going to lose.
Yeah, I think that might be the case, dude. That just I'm still just here looking at the schedule against Arizona. Arizona's playing well. I'll give them credit, but like 9 points against Arizona, 15 against Washington, like 3 against New England. I mean, it's just
yeah,
you just don't know where to go.
I don't understand it.
I don't. The problem is I don't think the guys in charge understand it either.
It's sad to watch.
It's a good way to put it. The Blackhawks 5-9, 5-9-1, I believe. Yep, 5-9-1, 11 points. I mean, I guess it's better than it has been in the last 2 years, but like they still have the second worst record and tied for the second least amount of points. Like this team's not good.
Yeah, I've been watching a
You know
little bit
what?
of the games, but they've been staying in them. But early in the NHL season, it's so hard because it's just like it seems like it's so lopsided right now. There's like a bunch of teams that are really good and a bunch of teams that are really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing I noticed looking at the standings is that it's top heavy and bottom heavy. Like
Yeah, it's like there's really good teams and there's really bad teams. There's no like that team's all right.
on the positive side, Connor Bedard leading the team in points. He's got 10 assists, 3 goals. It's
They
there's
said that he
positives to
is
be seen.
really a lot more comfortable this year.
Definitely.
A
Seth
toughness guy to
Jones,
be the
9
number one
points.
pick. Like they were always on ESPN. They were always talking about Bedard. It's like he needs a season of just plain hockey.
Yep, exactly. And like I said, it's better than it has been in the last 2 years, but you really, really hope that they just keep building, these guys that have been high draft picks, that they continue to develop and like the future looks better than than it can be. Like we all have that in our mind what this could look like. And it just right now, and I'm trying not to be negative Nancy here, but like so far, I don't know if I see it.
No, and it's one of those things that might take some more like free agent picks, not
Yeah,
picks, but signings,
yeah,
draft picks, stuff like that. They knew it was gonna be a process once they got Bedard, because
yeah,
before Bedard, it was gonna be even a longer process. So when they got him, it sped it up, but it's still they still need more time to fix their team.
yep. It's
So
it could be worse. We've seen worse. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
Like it's
last year was
been
worse, and
the year
yeah,
before was.
really
Whew.
and truthfully, if you can stay right around the 500 record in the NHL, you're gonna have a chance. Usually.
Oh, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
nowadays, there's so many like amazing teams.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still think the Blackhawks are like one big piece away.
yeah. I don't disagree with you at all. Let's move over to some basketball because when you lay your head down at night and you pray to whatever deity or God you believe in, you better say a little prayer and thank God that the Bulls are in the Eastern Conference
Oh my goodness.
because holy cow,
Speaking
dude,
of top heavy too, I think it's the
this
Boston
is
Celtics
crazy.
versus the West.
The Bulls are 4-6, right? 4-6. Okay. They are one game out of the 3 seed.
You tell me one team other than the Celtics that could maybe compete. Maybe this could
Cleveland
compete with the
Cavaliers,
West.
they are 11-0.
Okay, yes, that's fine. They are really good this year. Diamond Mitchell
They're
is
very good.
really good. But other than that,
This
like,
is
dude, I think it's gonna be a 2-team race.
100%. I think New York's going to get it figured out with Cat, so maybe a 3. But like Zach, as
No,
of
like,
right now, the 4 seed is the Charlotte Hornets.
can I say a hot take?
Let's hear it.
I don't think Karl Anthony Towns could win a championship.
I think he can in New York. They have enough pieces
Maybe,
around him.
dude, but like, I just
He's
don't
not
know
the
if his
best player
game
on
is
that
like.
team.
Is his game made for 7-game series? I just don't think so.
I see what you're saying, but I felt like that in Minnesota when he was the number 1 option, obviously
Yeah.
before Anthony Edwards got there. But now that he's in New York and he's the 2, sometimes the 3 scoring option, like I think Jalen Brunson is by far and away the best player on that team.
Oh yeah.
If he's your second or third best player, then I think you can. If he's the 1,
Yeah.
sometimes the 2, like I completely agree
I
with what
mean,
you're
he has
saying. But
games where he'll have like 30 points and like 15 rebounds, stuff like that. But then there's games where he has like 10 points and like 4 rebounds, so like that. It's like
yeah,
so like almost like he takes nights off sometime.
I truly do think that the Knicks will end up being a top 3 seed. I think it's going to be very obvious that it's going to be Celtics, Cavaliers, Knicks somewhere in the top 3, and everybody else just kind of has to figure it out. So Right now, the Bulls are the 7 seed, but like I said, they are literally a game out of being the 3rd seed. It's crazy. Big
Yeah, I
win
seen that.
last
I'm like,
night,
eh.
but they just don't seem consistent. And hey, it could be a hell of a lot worse. We could be Bucks or 76ers fans.
Yeah, and Giannis, that was weird. He's kind of just going after some people now with like he was mad at a reporter and stuff. It's like some of these guys don't know how to lose.
This will be my hot take. I don't think Giannis finishes the season in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but he did just sign a big contract, which somebody will
But
take.
like
But
some in the NBA, that seems to matter less than other sports.
yeah, but yeah, I just don't know if him and Dame Lillard can like play together.
They can't. Dame's just not the same Dame he was 6 years ago.
Well, no,
You know what I
but
mean?
I mean
Like
that's what
he's in his
happens when
30s.
some of these guys throw on these teams and then like you want to be traded, and by the time you're traded, it's almost like it's getting closer to the end of your career.
Exactly. And I just think with the way that the season's going, the fact that his brother is no longer on the team, which was a huge sticking point for him, I think he's about done with Milwaukee. And it's like you said, it's going to be a huge ask for someone to take that contract. But I think somebody
I
might
mean,
be able to
either
figure
way,
it out.
if you're gonna have Giannis, it's gonna be a lot of money. So what's the? I mean, that's
Yeah,
not really a big deal.
I'd love if he came down to Chicago. I'm just saying, not going to happen. It never will.
Not gonna
But
happen. But because Reinsdorfs are the people who are like, I don't want to pay that contract.
exactly. Yep, it's tough.
Would you
But
really think if you what you'd have to trade for Giannis?
oh,
How much better would it make the Bulls?
well, it would. I mean, the problem is it would be
Like
some of
Zach
like
Levine,
it'd be Zach Levine, probably Kobe White, Modest. Like it'd be a
Patrick
lot.
Williams, I mean, like Patrick
Yeah,
Williams.
which I'm okay with. Goodbye.
I'm saying, I mean, still, you need players.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I will say this before we move into our ad, if you get a chance to watch the Windy City Bulls, you need to do it because the Windy City Bulls have a lot of talent in their starting 5 and a lot of fairly local talent. Taylor Horton Tucker, the Damas kid from Illinois.
Matas should be down
Um,
there.
Yeah, he
He
did play a
should be
couple
because
games.
they're not going to play him in the games. Let him go get some good minutes with the G League.
DJ Stewart from Whitney Young. Who was the other name? It was like Coleman Liberty that played at DePaul, who's a Chicago guy. Like I like that they're doing, and they're pretty good, G League players. So if you see them on, I think they're on Marquee sometimes. Give
Where
them a
do they
look. I
play
think
at?
that there's
Where do they play
they
at?
play in. I want to say it's in Hoffman Estates
Oh, yes,
at
they
the
do.
big
Yeah.
arena.
Yes, they
So
do.
wouldn't hate getting out to a game there, but we talked a lot about earlier about the weather and getting dark. One way to keep your winter going this year and getting yourself going every day, and that's with Connect Roasters Coffee. They have the best coffee around that you're going to find. Shout out to our guy Ian Happ, friend of the podcast, 3rd Gold Glove in a row. He's not drinking Folgers. He's not drinking McDonald's coffee. He's not drinking Starbucks. He's drinking Connect Roasters Coffee, right? Gold Glove winners drink Connect Roasters coffee. So make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. If you're out in Bourbonnais, make sure you hit up the storefront. But if you want to win gold gloves, maybe 3 in a row, start yourself drinking some Connect Roasters coffee in the morning. So as always, a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters. Zach, we had a pretty wild day in college football yesterday as the season nears its close. Some blowouts, some close games during the day. We got to start here. I think Georgia's cooked. Georgia loses to Ole Miss. I think the NCAA is still going to find a way to make sure that Georgia's in the playoff if they don't lose again. There's no way they're taking a 3-loss team, but
I
that's
don't
that's
know,
a
dude. Like that's a bad loss.
it's not though. Ole Miss is 8-2 as well
I know, but
on the
I guess
road.
with the expanded playoff, a team like them can make it in. But I think that they should have to play the first round.
Oh,
There
absolutely.
should
They're
be no
not.
buys, nothing. They should have to play it out.
Yes, I think that
But yeah,
for
Ole Miss is
ratings
very good.
purposes, they're going
But
to.
okay, I saw that like they stormed the field, they took down the goalpost. Was that a game that they should have? They were 16th in the nation, and they beat
Yeah, but
third or
I
fourth
think it's
team.
more of the rivalry sense, not
I
exactly
guess.
like I get what you're saying, but like
Are we
I'm
taking
also
goal?
of the
We
mindset
gotta
like
make
have fun.
goalpost games more important.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Like
I get.
if a 1 seed loses to a non-ranked team, I think is when you take a goalpost down.
Yeah, I'm all for like storming the field. Goalpost is a different
Like,
story.
come on, that goalpost has got to be for like the very
Like Georgia Tech beating undefeated Miami, I'm okay with that.
It's gonna be a very important game, not just some game.
Yes.
It's like, yes, it's a big game, but if you're Ole Miss, you gotta come on.
Yep.
You're a good
And like I
team.
said, Miami finally going down just did not for having the high-powered
Oh
offense they did not look good. Georgia Tech just took care of business. It's Cam Ward ended up 25 of 39 for almost 350 yards, but didn't get a whole lot of production anywhere else. And Georgia Tech, who we saw in week 0 beat Florida State, which at the time was a huge deal, and now Florida State's awful. That's
Oh
a
my
big
gosh,
win for Georgia
1-8.
Tech.
Who would have thought 1-8? That has to be the
After
biggest fall of any team ever in the college football. Because they were
yeah,
ranked
11
top
months
5.
ago we were arguing about if they should have been in the 4-team playoff,
Are
and
they
now they're
top 5 team ranked at the beginning of the season?
yeah, I think so.
And now they're 9 now, 1-9.
They're awful. They are
Because
bad.
I know some people who had tickets to on the game yesterday, and it's like at the beginning of the season, you think this is gonna be one of the coolest games of the season. Like, this is gonna be
Yep.
awesome at Notre Dame, Florida State, and first of all, it wasn't even a close game at all. And
Not even.
just even going into the game, no one cared.
Yep. It was an afterthought. Um, Continuing though, Indiana stays undefeated with a big win over Michigan at home. This Indiana team is legit.
And again, is Michigan having like one of the worst turnarounds from a national championship team?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was kind of expected with how senior laden they were and losing their head coach.
But you would think with the transfer portal nowadays, you wouldn't think maybe that would happen as much, but it is what it is.
But when you're losing a recruiter like John Harbaugh or Jim
I know.
Harbaugh,
I'm just
sorry,
saying it's still Michigan and you won the national championship. You think that would help you recruit?
I think that we're going to continue to see a lot of this because of the transfer portal and schools like Indiana that have those years that like they're having this year because it's a little bit more level playing field. But I agree, that's a huge down. I mean, Michigan's 5-5 and 3-4 in the Big
Yeah.
Ten. That's
Like a bad season for Michigan is like you lose like 2 or 3 games and you
yeah,
just won a national championship and now you're 5-6
yeah, yeah.
and you have to still play Ohio State.
That game doesn't even mean anything though.
It doesn't, but if Michigan wins, I mean, that would be
Yeah,
crazy.
could throw a wrench into things. Undefeated number 9 BYU barely squeaks past Utah. I'll be honest, I think Utah got screwed.
Okay, yeah, so I was doing that backwards when we were talking.
I knew that.
Yeah, Utah had a 4th and 1 stop, and it was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah. I think the Utah athletic director came out. He's probably going to get in some big trouble, but he said basically they got absolutely screwed, and he's right.
Yeah, because the ref was was in a spot where like it was the play happened, Utah got the stop, but because the ref was in a weird spot, they got to replay it and got the
That's
4th down.
crazy. That makes no sense. Just it feels dirty for a BYU win there, but they stay undefeated. That's all that matters.
Well, if you're BYU, that'll happen.
Exactly. LSU is officially out of the 12-team playoff. They got their 3rd loss. Alabama absolutely wiped the field with
Yeah,
the
that team
Tigers
was
last
not
night.
making the playoff.
I'm so happy to see that. I hate LSU so much.
Again, Alabama, it was easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched that game. It's like, dude, they weren't playing any defense, nothing.
Alabama's getting right at the right time. I think we talked about Georgia a little bit ago. Alabama's a team that I can see they're playing their best football right now. And I mean, they go into LSU and absolutely dice up a good LSU team. 42-13 is no joke. I think they're hot right now. They play like a one double. They play Mercer next week, so that's going to be a cakewalk.
It was a game
I
that
think
Alabama needed.
100%. 100%.
They were in the playoff, but now it's like, can they get a bye now? What's going to happen?
It'll be interesting. Iowa State, who was undefeated 2 weeks ago, has now lost 2 in a row and is sitting at 7-2 after losing to a bad Kansas team yesterday. That was tough because 2 weeks ago I could have made the argument that they'd be in the playoff, and two losses in a row. That dream's over.
Boomy, I got a question about your NIU Huskies. Are they going to make a bowl?
100%. Yeah.
What's their? Are they right around 500?
They're 5-4. They're bowl eligible already.
Yeah, because they were 4-4. And that's just after beating Notre Dame. What a weird season.
But that's mid-major football, you know.
Yeah, I guess. But like the Bowling, was it Bowling Green they lost to?
No, they beat Bowling Green. They lost to Ball State and Toledo. Yeah, you can't lose to Ball State. That's embarrassing.
College sports are so crazy.
Well, it was Ball State's homecoming on the road, and the offense. Like that's the problem at NIU is the offense has been.
You went into Notre Dame and won. You wouldn't think that that'd be any different than it's just how the game goes.
Yeah, that's mid-major football, dude, and I think that they've got. I think all 3 of their final games are winnable, but they're going to be at least one major challenge in there.
I think next week we'll put this into the show with we'll start talking about college basketball, but that happens even more in college basketball. You see all these teams losing, all these top 10 teams losing to random teams at the beginning of the year. It's like that's what's so much fun about college basketball.
Yes, and especially like we talked about the parity in college football. It feels like 10 times that in basketball.
It's crazier because there's 5 players and one player goes off one night, you could beat a really good team.
Exactly. Finishing up here on college football, same thing, similar story with Iowa State. Pitt has now lost 2 games in a row. They'll be out of the top 25.
Bad. I watched that. They were just I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, that offense was bad yesterday.
Bad interceptions. Just bad play.
Colorado holds on 7-2. Look out for the Buffaloes.
I think they went out there in that playoff easily.
I think they are too. I think especially there's a very good to fair chance they're going to end up in the Big 12 title game.
Oh yeah. Which is what I like. Notre Dame needs to
join the conference. Last couple ones, Clemson holds on to beat Virginia Tech. They're sitting at 7-2. You hate to see it.
Worst.
Missouri beats Oklahoma. That's got to be the first time Missouri's beat Oklahoma in a hot minute.
I love TikTok. I was going through there the other day, and it was the video of Dabo Sweeney saying he would never live in a era where players got paid. Why is he still coaching?
Yep.
Why is he still coaching?
Couldn't agree more.
I think he should be fired and not allowed to coach in college football again.
Yep.
If you're going to say that and then it happens, what are you coaching for?
Yeah.
Nothing is worse than when he runs out of that tunnel, the first one.
No, not the tunnel, from down the hill.
Dude, honestly, though, it is pretty athletic not to fall.
Oh, I would be eating it so bad.
I would just eat shit and just slide across the field. That is one thing I don't really would. Where is Clemson?
South Carolina.
That'd be cool to go there. A lot of good golf. But
yeah,
I'd love to go there and run down that and see how hard it actually is.
It'd be a great video that we would end up getting hurt doing.
Yeah, you think basketball is a bad idea. I think running down a hill would be a bad idea too.
I was going to say, if you're worried about getting hurt playing pickup basketball,
I think, I should worry a little bit more about that. You're right.
Exactly. Some notable games next week. We'll probably have an episode before that. There's kind of some duds here. Trying to think. Only one as of right now ranked teams. One will not be Clemson and Pitt, both coming in the game at 7-2. Should be a good game there.
It'd been better if Pitt would have won.
Yes. Arizona State 7-2 going to Kansas State, also 7-2. That means a lot in the Big 12 standings there. Tennessee and Georgia. Tennessee 8-1, Georgia 7-2. A Tennessee win will officially eliminate Georgia from any playoff talk. And outside of that, man,
you don't think a 3-win Georgia can make it in the 15?
I don't think so.
If they lose that game, would they not be in the SEC championship game then?
I think that's also a big part of it. I think that would eliminate them from the SEC championship game.
You think about it, if they limp into the SEC championship game and win, that's huge. But then he's got to get to that.
Yep, I agree. Let's go ahead and jump into the professional ranks. We've got the NFL Week 10 pick show. Last week, not great for the boys. I went 3-3. Zach went 2-4. Maddie went 1-5. Zach is still in the lead at 30-24. Duh. I am right behind him at 25, 27-2. And Maddie still continuing the struggle this year, 15, 38-1. So we had, you want to go with your noon game, Zach?
Sure. 1 second. Okay, where did I have this at? I got Bears -6.5 at home against the Patriots. I think
I got you even better, -6. I got it at.
They got to go out and they got to make a statement this game because this is their last chance to save this season.
I don't disagree with you.
And then I got Commanders -1.5 at home against the Steelers. I think the Commanders are really good, and I know they haven't played a defense. People keep saying this, is pissing me off. They keep saying that they haven't played a defense like the Steelers. The Bears' defense held the Commanders pretty well for what it should have been. If you watch that game, they were on defense a lot. It just annoyed me. Sorry, but I'm going Commanders -1.5.
I think that I'm on that game as well, but I think I'll take the Steelers +2 is what I see it at. I'll give it to you at -1.5, but I'm taking the Steelers +2. I think they're 6-2, and I think it's a level of experience versus inexperience here. And that's the only reason
You're sussy for Rusty, aren't you?
Yeah, I do. He's played well. He's had a complete resurgence after that awful year in Denver.
I love though, like people are they think it's crazy. Well, yeah, he's been saying he's healthy. He's the only one healthy out there.
And the other one I'm going to take, I've got the Bills -4.5. That Colts offense last week never once got into the red zone. I love Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco is not that team's done. That offense is horrible.
When they went to Joe Flacco, that's just trying to save their season somehow.
Well, and then you saw what it did last week. Why would you not switch back? That was awful. They didn't get into the red zone in an NFL game.
The Bears would never do that.
No comment.
The 3:00 game.
Yep.
I got Titans +8 at the Chargers. That's just a big number for me.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
It's a weird number too. And then Cardinals +1.5 at home against the Jets. Dude, the Cardinals are pretty decent, and the Jets suck, and it's at the Cardinals. If I'm getting plus money at home for the Cardinals, I'll take it. What
was it, +2?
I got +1.5, but I don't know if you got something else.
Yep, I see it at 1.5 too. I was going to take Arizona, but for the sake of us not being on the same games, I'm going to go Eagles -7.5.
The NFL is so annoying with there's only 3 games.
Yes, it's so stupid. Figure it out, NFL. They've been talking about this forever. The Cowboys are awful.
And make it even, or at least close to even.
Balance it out a little bit. The Cowboys are just no Dak Prescott. Might be a good thing, but Philadelphia is starting to roll right now. I'll take the Eagles to cover 7.5. That is a lot.
Out for the season, but they're going to see one more doctor.
Yeah, I mean, you tear a hamstring off the bone.
Like how many doctors have got to tell you that it's bad?
Yeah, exactly. Sunday night game should be one of the best games of the day. Tennessee I'm sorry, not Tennessee. Houston at home versus the Lions. Who do you got here?
I have the Lions minus 3.5 in Houston. I think this Lions
that's
team
why
is
I'm taking the
real.
Texans.
It's good.
I shouldn't. I think that Detroit's the better team, but I think this is going to end up being like a one or whoever wins this game, it's going to be like 1 or 2 points. It's going to end on a field goal or
I think the Texans
something.
are having, compared to last year, having a little bit of a down season.
And they're still 6-3.
I know. I'm just saying they were really, really good last year.
Yeah, but I also think that
it's whoever wins this game can go and say we're one of the best in the NFC.
The Texans are not in the NFC.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
In the NFL. No, whatever.
Okay,
but you know what I mean?
enough.
They can say they're a good team if they win this game because for the Texans, it's a big win at home against a really good team. And then if it's the Lions, it's a big road win. So, I mean, it's a big game for either team.
I think
this time of the year, it's getting to be crunch time.
Yes. Monday night, I think this should be a decent game. Rams, Dolphins. I will take the Rams minus 1.5. I think Rams are they still haven't completely put it all together, but there's
I think Matthew Stafford is good enough to beat this team at home.
Yeah, and I think that the Dolphins are still kind of reeling from all the injuries and just now getting guys fully back and trying to hit their stride. They're 2-6. They're done for.
Yeah, they're done for.
They have to win this game to have any sort of semblance of fixing this season.
I don't think even if they win this game, I mean, I just think the Dolphins season is over. Yeah, and the Rams are just getting better.
Yeah. If they can manage to not have Puka Nacua throwing punches in the first quarter.
Is Puka Nacua going to play?
Yeah. He played last week. He got ejected, remember?
I know. I'm just saying he'd been hurt back and forth. I didn't know. And I also didn't know if he got suspended.
No, you just get booted from the game. That was also one of the softest ejections I've ever seen.
It was, but also just like you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's always the guy that retaliates, not the guy that starts it.
And they were winning the game.
Yeah, it made no sense. Let's wrap things up. As always, we've got the TCF top 3, and this week we are doing the NBA 2024-25 City Editions. We do this every year. So I think Zach's going to throw it up on the screen here. There are some good ones. There are some real poo-poo ones. So, Zach, do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Well, I'll let you go first this one.
All right, this one's easy. Toronto Raptors, first overall. The 90s jumping Raptor with the Vince Carter ball between his legs, the famous dunk from the dunk contest. This is an easy 1-1, I think, for me.
All righty. I am going to go. I like the district. Would that be I'm guessing that's the Wizards.
Well, yeah, you like that one? That's awful.
I think that's cool.
That's so boring.
You got different tastes, dude. Just pick your extravagant jersey.
I feel like they're not bad, but I get 2? I don't know. They're missing something. What are you going with 2?
I get 2. Okay. Oh wait, sorry about the. I'm gonna take this little logo off here so we can see. I like the Valley.
Yeah, that's a good one. The Suns one, that's a good pick. I like that.
And we're from the Illinois Valley, so that's kind of cool.
There you go. I feel like there's just a lot of mid this year. Probably because we keep getting these every single year and they're running out of ideas.
See, that's the problem with these things. I think it should be like a 5-year thing.
Yeah, or kind of like how MLB does, where they only do like a couple teams every year. I know it's probably chalk, but I love the Utah Jazz with the throwback mountains in the back.
Boring.
No, that's not boring at all.
Boring.
That's bringing back the 90s. And then there's a bunch I would that I could take here because there's a bunch that I do like. But I think I'll go with the Atlanta Hawks. Kind of like a blend of their old jerseys with some old colors.
Boring.
What are you talking about?
That's boring, dude.
How is that boring?
It's just the Hawks.
Yeah, that's their old logo.
cool.
Know your basketball history.
And my logo isn't cool?
You think that the district one is cooler than the Hawks one?
Easily.
That's insane.
To each your own. Was that what I say?
That is. The district one looks like an AAU team's jersey that they had pressed at their local.
Some of these are bad.
Yeah, there are some really bad ones. Let's just say this while you're picking the Miami Heat one, unless I don't know what you think. That's awful. That is something you would see at like Ross for less.
Could the Bulls be more boring?
I like the Bulls in the sense that the gold, but like it is pretty boring.
It's a city jersey. Like that looks like a random like alternate.
Yeah, it's like an homage to the Chicago theater sign, I think is what they said.
Oh, because everyone knows that. I'm gonna go with the Magic. I think that's pretty cool.
That's a good one, yeah.
I like the pinstripes.
It's like a blend of the 90s and the 2000s there with the pinstripes, but also the like Tracy McGrady Magic logo. I
don't really like the star for the A, but
honorable mention. Well, let's go through these real quick then. The ones we haven't picked. We'll just say yes or no. Brooklyn.
Yes.
No, those are bad. Charlotte.
I mean, dude, it's so basic.
Yeah, I like the color though.
Like Charlotte, Bulls, Mavs. I'd say they're all basic.
Yeah, I would lean towards like if I guess my scale is would I wear these jerseys? I think I would wear all three of those so they all get a yes, but they are very basic.
I'd wear the jerseys, but like you would think for City Connect you could do more.
Golden State.
Where's that?
I'm just going across the top of the list.
It's all right.
Yeah, Houston,
The H-Town I don't like.
Clippers.
No, stupid. Clips.
I took the Jazz, so we'll go Kings.
Again, I like it, but it's just basic. And the Celtics are the same way. Basic.
Celtics are awful. That's not Celtics green.
I'll take a practice jersey.
Yes. The Cleveland one.
It's hard to read, but it's a cool looking jersey.
Yeah, I like that one. That one gets
reminds me of like a North Carolina jersey.
Yep. Detroit.
It's all right. Like it's kind of old school.
Yeah. Indy.
No.
Yeah, I agree. That one's bad. Denver.
That's the 5280.
5,280. That's the elevation. That's the mile high.
I don't care. Thing. I think that's dumb.
Oh, that's one of the coolest ones. Like that was between.
That's where we differ.
I like the colors on that. The Lakers.
No, I mean looks like a practice jersey.
I like that one. Memphis.
You like that one?
The Lakers, yes.
That's the Lake Show jersey, dude.
These all kind of look like practice jerseys.
Isn't there G League like with the show in it?
No, I mean they're the Bay City Lakers, or not Bay City. Something like, but it's not Lake Show.
The only reason I know is because Bronny was there.
Bronny. Memphis.
I like that.
Yeah, I do like that. Minnesota.
No.
I agree. That's kind of boring.
I don't even what's going on.
OKC.
I like it, but also just basic.
Yep. San Antonio.
I like that.
Yeah. Not doing it for me. That Heat one's awful.
I can't even read it.
It just says Heat culture.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's
so boring.
Red. It's too red.
New York.
Me. Again, basic.
I think those do have a pinstripe. You can't really see it on the picture, but those
I
are
know. I like it, but
Philadelphia.
This is the Magic I picked.
Yep. Philadelphia.
No.
I like that. That's a great homage to the 70s court they had. Milwaukee.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's a cool one. I like that
jersey, and you don't think Milwaukee Bucks.
I agree. New Orleans.
No.
I like that one. I would wear that. And last, Portland.
Yeah, it's like Rip City. I think that's always good.
Well, let us know what everybody likes, because that is the end of episode 240. We thank you guys for joining in. As always, make sure you check us out on X at @typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like. Subscribe on YouTube for all the content in video form. Wherever you get your podcast, subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you have to do, wherever you get your podcast. Find me on X at BoomyTCF, and of course, Zach at ZLiliaTCF. As always, we appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back next week with another loaded show. That was episode 240 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.